I'm killing the motherfucking baby. I'm killing her. I'm killing the baby.
Stop it. Get some help.
So last week on Biology 101 with Rebecca, we learned from the progressive feminist that if you simply just identify as a woman, therefore you are. Had nothing to do with your XX chromosomes, nothing to do with your reproductive systems. All you had to do is identify as a woman and you could become a woman. Well, this week, the news dropped of the draft leak of the possible overturn of Roe v. Wade. The feminists took to social media, took to the streets to screech and to yell and to show their disdain about this possible overturn. And apparently they found their uteruses again. So before we jump into the reaction from the feminists and the reaction from the left, hi. My name is Rebecca. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you like this content, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and let's jump into the craziness, shall we? So the feminists took to social media, took to the streets to protest the possible overturn of Roe v. Wade. It's incredible how these feminists become so enraged so quickly. It literally has nothing to do with the actual logic behind why these things are being overturned or why these decisions are being made. Everything is based off of feelings, and you are going to see that very, very clearly when we see these videos. I'm gonna have a few videos and maybe some Twitter responses as well. We're not sure yet. I got a lot of clips and a lot of things, so we'll see how far we go with this video. I might have to make a part 2 and possibly part 3, but let's jump into these clips.
If you do not have a uterus, I need you to shut the fuck up or speak the fuck up. I'm tired of grimy men trying to insert their imbecile opinions about something they have no idea about. What's that? You don't think abortion is moral? Okay, I have a solution. How about all men are required by law to get vasectomies? That can be reversed when a man is ready to have a child. No, the idea of a man's bodily autonomy being taken away makes you really uncomfortable. Your body, your choice. Okay, then it's safe to assume that the men on the Supreme Court are literally just trying to control women's bodies. The fact that abortions are gonna be as under the table as selling drugs boggles my fucking mind. Speak the fuck up or shut the fuck up.
All right, guys, well, that was our first clip, and you clearly can see the anger that is coming from the feminists, okay? There's a lot to unpack in this one clip, and I'm gonna try to do my best to hit on every single thing that she speaks about. So she starts off, I'm assuming she's a she.
I use she, her pronouns, and I am a...
Natalie says, if you don't have a uterus, shut the F up. Or if you do have a uterus, you need to speak the F up. Natalie, didn't anyone tell you that men can get pregnant? We have an entire emoji about it. We have articles talking about men getting pregnant.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Isn't this a little transphobic to think that men can't have uteruses, that men can't get pregnant? And I think it's interesting that the only time biology gets brought up in these conversations is when we talk about abortion, because you cannot neglect biology when it comes to abortion, because obviously we are talking about the reproductive systems in female bodies. It's interesting that last week we learned that if you identify as a woman, you can just be a woman. This week, we have switched back and said, okay, well, you need to be a biological female to carry a child, and you have to have a womb to carry a child. So what is it? Is it that men can get pregnant, or that women are the only ones to get pregnant? If you're gonna go flip-flop back and forth, oh, men can get pregnant one week and the next week men can't get pregnant and they have to shut up because they can't get pregnant, no one's gonna believe you. And this is why this is so stupid, and their argument falls apart immediately because they don't even know what a woman is. They don't even know what a female is. If men can identify as women and women can identify as men, then really this is an argument for everyone. Men can speak up about this, women can speak up about this, because it affects everyone, right? That's the logic. So she goes on to say that cisgender or heterosexual men have nothing to do with this conversation, so they need to shut up. You, as a heterosexual man, cannot have a say in this topic, yet you, as a man, contribute to a woman having a baby. I don't think women understand that immaculate conception is not a thing. You don't just end up being pregnant. It takes two to get pregnant. It takes two to have sex. This conversation of men need to shut up about this, well, it kind of falls apart when you knock on their door 10 months later and say, hey, you need to pay for this baby that you had no idea that you contributed to. All right, to finish off this ridiculous statement and this ridiculous post in general, she says that men, the Supreme Court, is dictating the lives of women's reproductive systems. Okay, well, in 1973, if you looked at the courts, and I'm gonna put a picture right here, they were all white, probably heterosexual males that dictated women's reproductive rights. All of them were cisgender white males. Those were the guys that decided on Roe v. Wade. Now, I'm gonna put a picture here of our Supreme Court justices. Doesn't look like an all-male court to me. Looks like there's women on our court. You're saying that let's protect Roe v. Wade with all white male judges on a heterosexual court deciding about women's reproductive rights. Yet we have women on our court that are saying, hey, maybe we know what happens in our bodies and maybe that's a child and maybe the decision should be sent to the states and not the federal system. And again, the last thing that she says here is abortions will be under the table and abortions will happen illegally and all this other stuff. Absolutely not. The possible overturn of Roe v. Wade doesn't mean that abortion will be illegal. It means that all abortion laws and regulations will be kicked back to the states to make the decisions for their own state. So you, as the citizen of that state, can vote for these people that are making this legislation, and you can decide what state you want to live in. You can decide what policies and laws are drafted in your states. The Banshees always say, we want fair elections. We want to make decisions and have our vote count. This is a great way to make your vote count. And in Colorado, California, New York, Connecticut, you're still gonna have these insane abortion laws up to term. Basically, you can abort the baby up to 10 months. And some states are pushing for past that. 14 days after the child is born, you can decide, I don't want it anymore, so we can put it to sleep. Okay. And in Florida, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Texas, they're going to probably have heartbeat laws. Yet there are still abortion laws in place in those states. Abortion's not going away, unfortunately. It's just being dictated by the state that you live in. I hope this was a comprehensive breakdown of every point that she made here. And if you have any comments or concerns about it, let me know down in the comments. I might pull some of the comments to make a reaction of the comments. Let's go to the next one. This is by far my favorite one. And there were so many feminists that said this online. I just had to pull one, but there were so many. All right, let's go.
Out. If they overturn Roe v. Wade, humans that possess uteruses should collectively get together and never have sex with men again. Some of you guys were on the fence already about it. This will be the best way to protest this.
I agree. Your terms are accepted. Literally, this is the entire conversation of the RP community. We have CC riders, okay? We have CC riders that will ride the carousel and think that abortion is a form of contraception. I've heard women on social media say, oh, I've had 2, 3, 4 abortions in my life. It's a standard procedure. Excuse me, what? No, sis. We have other forms of contraception. We have condoms, 16 forms, if not more, of birth control, which, by the way, you can get birth control for basically free, if not free. You pay $1. How do I know this? Because I had Obamacare at some point in my life. You're telling me that you can't get access to birth control, to free birth control. You can't get access to that because you can't get free healthcare that's available to you, someone that has low income. Okay, make that make sense. And on top of that, you have multiple forms of birth control. Multiple. The NuvaRing, every single pill. You can get a thing stuck in your arm. You can get an IUD if you'd like. Here's all the birth control you can have so that you can have free sex without any problems. But no, women can't be responsible enough to take the right birth control at the right time because it's too much for their bodies. Here's the thing about all of this. This abortion conversation comes down really simply to this. Women do not want to take personal accountability for their actions. If you consented to sex, you consented to the possibility of a baby. This goes for men and women. This does not excuse men whatsoever. You consented as an adult to say, hey, I want to engage in sex with you. If you said, don't wear a condom, I can trust my birth control that I don't take regularly, that I don't take on time at the right time, that I sometimes skip. Whose fault is that? We have multiple forms of contraception and we have abstinence, right? We can abstain from sex. And this is what pro-lifers have said for decades. Why don't you just not have sex with everyone who breathes? And this is vice versa, right? You don't want to pay child support? Protect your seed. If you don't want to carry a baby, protect your uterus. What a novel thought, right? What a novel thought. Just don't have sex, right? Abstain from sex. Choose the right partner. Choose the person that you would actually want to procreate with, right? If the possibility were to be there. But no, spread your legs for everyone. You are sexually liberated. Here's 30,000 forms of birth control. Go ham, sis. Go ham. This is the example I love. I love using this. You go out on the town, right? You go out in the town, have a few beers, blah, blah, blah. You decide to get in your car and drive home. You get pulled over and you say, this is unfair. How can I get pulled over for drinking and driving? And the cop says, because it's by law that I have to arrest you and give you a DUI. I don't understand where the issue is here. Just because you've been drinking and driving for 15 years and never got caught doesn't mean that one time isn't a possibility. You knew what you were doing. You consented to getting in the car when, hey, there's multiple forms of transportation, right? There's Ubers, there's Lyfts, there's taxis, there's a friend driving you home, there's the bus, there's walking. Anything other than getting in your car and driving away. But no, you decided to get in your vehicle after you've been drinking all night and then you get pulled over. What's the excuse then? You know what could happen. You know that you could get pulled over. Yet you have been doing this for so long, you think, that's not gonna be me. I'm not the statistic. The thing is that when you consent to sex, you consent to the possibility of a baby, both men and women. If you don't like it, stop having sex. Stop putting it in everyone. Stop taking it from everyone. Stop riding the carousel. Get off. I'm gonna wrap this up. I might extend this to another video because I still have so much to say about this topic, but we'll continue.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when life begins. It doesn't matter whether a fetus is a human being or not. That argument is a red herring, a distraction, a subjective and unwinnable argument that could not matter less. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about a fertilized egg or a fetus or a baby or a 5-year-old or a Nobel Prize winning pediatric oncologist. Nobody has a right to use your body against your will, even to save their life or the life of another person. That's it. That's the argument. You cannot be forced to donate blood or marrow or organs, even though thousands die every year on waiting lists. They cannot even harvest your organs after your death without your explicit, written, pre-mortem permission. Denying women the right to an abortion means a woman has less bodily autonomy than a corpse.
Let's talk about this bodily autonomy that everyone likes to throw out as the argument. It's a woman's body, so she has the right to do what she wants with it. I looked it up so that no one can say anything about this. The main function of the uterus is to nourish the developing fetus prior to birth. Shocking. The three main jobs of your uterus are pregnancy. Your uterus stretches out to grow a baby during a pregnancy. Fertility. Your uterus is where a fertilized egg implants during contraception and where your baby grows. This is from the clevelandclinic.org. If you want to take it up with anyone, take it up with the scientists, take it up with biologists, take it up with the people that are saying that this is where your baby grows. Not a fetus, not anything else, not a clump of cells. This is where your baby grows. And the menstrual cycle. Your uterine lining is where blood and tissue come from during menstruation. So if you ask a woman, hey, do you like getting your period? No woman is gonna say, I love when I bleed every month for 7 days. No woman is ever gonna say that. That's why a lot of women go on birth control, so they don't have to deal with periods. Saying that bodily autonomy is the reason why women should not carry a child to term is literally going against your biology. Your uterus expands and grows and moves your other organs out of the way in order to make space and house and nourish and feed and protect your unborn child. You as a woman don't have 20 fingers and 20 toes and 2 hearts. That's another body living inside the place that was designed to house and nourish and protect that body. The argument falls flat on its face. And all the other organs and all the other things that your body has as a woman, right? Your heart sustains your life, your brain sends these signals down to all your other systems, your nervous system, your lymphatic systems to do the things. And if you take those things, that actually removes your life, that actually can kill you or make your life worse. The only organ in your body that was purposely designed to carry another life is your uterus. That's it. This is the other argument. Oh, it doesn't matter where life begins. It doesn't matter about the baby or the fetus or any of the fertilized egg or anything else. Scientists will observe other planets and observe other galaxies and things like that. And if they discover an organism that has no brain, no heart, but moves and can grow and all this other stuff, they say that that is life. And if we can say that that is life, why can't we say that a 6-week-old fetus, which by the way, it does have a heartbeat, isn't life? We can say that an organism on another planet means that life can be sustained on that planet, that is signs of life. But something that has been happening to bodies of women, of females, for the dawn of time is not life. That fetus is not life, but an organism on another planet is life. Make it make sense. I have other videos and I think I'm gonna end it with this one because this is by far the most egregious one that I've seen. Actually, there's 2. The one that you saw at the beginning and then this one that I've seen, and it's by far the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So here we go.
Ladies, if you get pregnant, run on down to the abortion clinic and have that little bastard suck.
You heard it, guys. Get that little bastard sucked out. That just goes to show you that they know exactly what they're doing. They know that it's a baby. They know that it's life. And it doesn't matter to them. It's not about the human life. You heard it in the previous clip, right? You heard it from the other lady. It doesn't matter if it's a human. It doesn't matter if it's a little girl or a little boy. It doesn't matter. There's a generation of women that will never, ever be born? How about all those women? How about all those little girls? And that's why pro-life and pro-choice can never come see eye to eye, because they're working off of two premises, different premises. But let me know what you guys think. I laid out my arguments. I'd love to see what the comments have to say about this, and maybe I'll make a video about the comments. We shall see. But that is my video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.